Enrico Anglesio graduated in medicine in 1933 and soon decided to embrace medical oncology, a specialty that was at its very beginning at that time. Specialized cancer hospital had been only recently established in some European cities, but these dedicated hospitals were more successful in studying the disease and palliating the suffering than in curing the patient. Indeed, which was the profile of cancer at the beginning of the 30s last century? Mortality statistics were showing that cancer was increasing. All types of cancer were increasing. But how to contrast cancer? No prevention was possible. There were not yet rational grounds for prevention. No single agent having been demonstrated as causal factor. In humans, screening was not even thinkable. There were several years left to the moment Georgios Papanikolaou demonstrated that the exam of the exfoliated cervical cell could anticipate the diagnosis of cervical cancer. And there were years left before Raoul Leborgne started to take RX mammograms with a new method that permitted diagnosing early breast cancer. And from the side of treatment, which were the bullets available during the 30s, 90 years ago? Surgery? Yes, surgery was there. For example, William Halstead's radical mastectomy had been introduced a decade before, and is still valid nowadays. But the reaching of surgery was limited to some organs and could little in systematic disease and metastasis. Radiotherapies? Yes, it was available, but with limited benefits and big risks both for the patient and for the doctor. Drugs? Almost no effective anti-cancer drug were available at that time, apart from cortisone and supportive therapies. And to confirm the limited efficacy of those poor weapons, when incidents started to be measured beside mortality from 1938 on, it was disappointing to see how much the figures of the two were superposable due to the very small fraction of survivors. In his autobiography, Anglesio catches and describes well the frustration that accompanies his daily work at bedside at that time. Then enormous advances were made, both in the wards and in laboratories, during the years around the Second World War. And despite the war, I would comment, in 1948, Sidney Farber in the United States was able to get the first remission of leukemia in a child using folate, a momentous result. Effective chemotherapy had started, opening a new era of tremendous progress. Anglesio went on working as medical oncology in his country and abroad for the next 50 years, flanking and contributing to that enormous progress in diagnosis, namely thanks to the electronic imaging and molecular biology, and in treatment, thanks to chemotherapy. He ended his career as clinician at the beginning of this millennium, at the dawn of genomic medicine and immunotherapy. Anglesio has not been just a clinician. He has been an active advocate, establishing the Torino section of the Italian League Against Cancer and sitting in the national board of that organization. On the side of the international coordination and cooperation, he has been active in the UICC, nowadays the International Union for Cancer Control, and contributed to organize the 1974 World Cancer Congress, hosted in Florence, Italy. When Anglesio was in his 50s, he added a new job to his workload, cancer registration and epidemiology, establishing the Piedmont Cancer Registry in Torino, the second after the Slovenian one in Southern Europe. In connection with the World Cancer Congress of 1974, he convened one of the first meetings of our association in Montecatini. In recognition of all that, in 1984, he was awarded the honorary membership of the International Association of Cancer Registries. When Anglesio died in 2003, at 95, still active, he left us a tremendous professional and moral legacy, together with a generous donation to be spent in support of cancer registration. We established a foundation, and among the first initiatives, we decided to offer a prize in his name. Which kind of prize, among the many existing? We decided to go on along three lines: targeting the young, that Anglesio had always encouraged and helped as mentor and advocate; stimulating the competition with quantitative measurement of the work done; and stimulating the publication of the results in the peer-reviewed scientific literature. We will now listen a description of the feature of the Enrico Anglesio Prize.
The Enrico Anglesio Prize, in its virtual format, is organized in two steps. In the first step, candidates are required to send a short paper, we call it a dissertation, where methods, results, and discussion of their work is summarized. A jury made up from a pool of 19 colleagues evaluates the dissertation according to its scientific relevance, originality, appropriateness of methods, and its format, that is, the compliance to the editorial recommendation. Then, those candidates in the top three-quarters of the score distribution are invited to proceed to the second step, a video presentation of their study results. This second step was intended for maintaining the original features of the prize in its in-present format. In particular, the intention of awarding not only the scientific value of a work, but also the ability in communicating the results. For this reason, the videos are evaluated on how the relevant information was presented and if the presentation was able to focus on the most important points. And in scientific communication is also important the accompanying iconography, so figure, tables, legends. So, for example, were the slide readable, were the oral comment and slides properly matched? And finally, it is important and evaluated that the time allowed for the video presentation was also respected, and the time dedicated to method, results, and discussion was well balanced. We can say that this rather complex mechanism of the prize, as well as its mission of awarding young researchers, has granted the prize an increasing success. The Enrico Anglesio Prize started in 2006 with its first edition at the annual meeting of the GREL, the Group of Latin Language Cancer Registry, where was held for 11 editions. Then in 2010, it was extended to the annual meetings of the International Association of Cancer Registries, held that year in Japan, at Yokohama. And since then, we had other 10 editions in presence until Vancouver. Then the pandemic struck in 2020, we switched to the present virtual format. In total, we had 186 candidates across all the world. Because of its origin in the GREL conference, Europe is the continent from which most of candidates are coming from. But we can say that also North and South America, Asia, and Africa are catching up, and also with few representatives for Oceania. But if we look at the 29 winners of the prizes across all editions, and including the winners of the special prizes, we see a much more homogeneous distribution, with the highest rate of winners over candidates for Oceania. And during these years, the participation increased, reaching a high last year of 29 candidates. But also the quality of presentation impressively increased over the years, in particular recently. So, We do hope that they will keep and improve opportunities for all younger researchers with these prizes in the incoming years, trying to keep the spirit of the original prize and the teaching of Enrico Anglesio that scientific excellence risks to be wasted without an effective communication and dissemination of results.
Our first prize, the Enrico Anglesio Prize, is given to the absolute winner, the candidate with the best score. However, in our competition, there are two additional prizes offered. The first special prize, named after Sharon Whelan, goes to the highest in ranking among those candidates coming from low-income, low-middle-income, or upper-low-middle-income countries. What was new in the selection rules already for the last year is that the ranking is done firstly among the low-income countries, and only if there is no candidate, a new ranking is done for low-middle-income countries' candidates. The prize goes to the highest in ranking among candidates from upper low-middle-income countries only if there is no candidate from low-income and low-middle-income countries. Further, the second special prize, named after Ilvo Timpia, goes to the youngest competitor. Given the high number of competitors, an extra distribution criterion has been defined. The winner of this prize must be identified within the top tertile ranking. And moreover, this year's special, the three best competitors in the category Methods and Originality, as well as the overall winner, will be granted a waiver to publish their dissertation free of charge in the special issue of academic journal Cancer, titled Advances in Cancer Data and Statistics. This year's best candidates, including all prize winners, are invited to present themselves at the award ceremony tomorrow. We are looking to meet them.
Thank you, Roberto, Stefano, and Viola, and good afternoon or good morning to all of you. I am Stella De Sabata, Scientific Advisor to Fondo Elena Moroni, and previously to Fondo Anglesio Moroni, as well as a longtime member of the jury of the Enrico Anglesio Prize. I've actually been there from the very beginning of the prize, participating in the development of rules, selection and scoring criteria, templates, all the way to scripts for award ceremonies. The jury of the Anglesio Prize is composed of senior epidemiologists and registrars from all continents, representing a variety of cultural backgrounds. In the past, we used to work on candidates' abstracts before getting together at the GREL or IAC conferences, often with the last meeting of the jury minutes before the conference closing ceremony when the winner was announced. Now all the work is remote, supported by a very good back-end platform with interactions by email and telephone. Not the same thing. I do look forward to reconnecting with my fellow jurors and with candidates during a live event in what is now called the new normal. I wish to congratulate all finalists for having made it to this step, and in a little while we'll be able to congratulate the winner of the 2022 edition of the Enrico Anglesio Prize. I hope to see you soon in person next year.
The Alumni Committee of the Enrico Anglesio Prize has been established in July 2021, and it now currently counts about 180 members. The committee aims to develop a dynamic network of relationship between winners, participants, and friends of the Enrico Anglesio Prize, and to connect young researchers all over the world to share knowledge, experiences, to follow career development, and to celebrate successes. Remaining committed to its vision, connect, engage, succeed, and celebrate, summarized by the motto Carpe Diem and Scientiam. The Alumni Committee is overseen by a cabinet composed of 3 prefecti, the elect, the incumbent, and the past, and aided by an ancillus or ancilla, plus a member of the executive board of the Fondo Elena Moroni, who acted as a liaison officer between the committee, and the Fondo. These are the current members of the cabinet with similar role and responsibilities, plus myself, who acting as a liaison officer. Next spring, there will be a formal election process for the renewal and or reconfirmation of the member of the cabinet. The cabinet meet virtually once a month to discuss on committee activities. It helped a lot in disseminating and advertising the 2022 Enrico Anglesio Prize contest, and it is now working hard to foster collaborations and connection among the alumni. Due to the pandemic, the alumni have had less opportunity to meet and to get acquaintance each other. But last week, the cabinet hosted the first virtual global informal alumni meeting, a coffee chat with icebreaker activities and a lot of fun. And tomorrow, the cabinet and alumni representative will meet for the first time in person in Turin to discuss on what has been done in this first year and to identify strategic points to grow and to pave the way for future challenges. They will also actively contribute to the Enrico Anglesio Prize award ceremony, and as the youngest soul of the foundation, some fun sketches are to be expected. So stay tuned and join the ceremony to see what they have prepared.
Hello, my name is Diana Withrow, and I was the winner of the Enrico Anglesio Prize in 2020 and the first virtual competition. My history with the Enrico Anglesio Prize starts a little earlier in 2014 when I attended the IACR meeting in Ottawa. I didn't win that year, but Dr. Rosso encouraged me to attend future IACR meetings and to reapply for the award. I didn't have the opportunity to attend another IACR meeting and therefore apply for the prize until 2020 when the competition was offered virtually. That gave me the opportunity to submit some research I had done, and I'm really grateful for that opportunity. In 2020, when I participated virtually, it was again evident to me the enthusiasm and commitment the Fondo Elena Moroni brings to the prize competition. I'm now a member of the Alumni Cabinet, and it is our goal to ensure that former participants in the prize can meet each other and can join forces to form a network, both for social purposes, but also academically, and to improve opportunities for collaboration.
Hi everyone, my name is Robin Chaffard. I am working at the Geneva Cancer Registry in Switzerland as an epidemiologist. My first experience of the prize came in May 2009 in Lugano. I was 24 at that time. I was finishing my master's degree. It was my first year at the Cancer Registry, my first conference, so it was a bit scary, but it was really great. It was a nice opportunity to challenge myself as a young researcher and meet a lot of people from the field. I remember being more than welcome and receiving a lot of positive support. So the presentation went very well and I had a very good feedback. But of course, I didn't get the prize. I was told after the award ceremony that everything was excellent, but that I was actually too young. You can imagine that it is not what you want to hear, since the prize is actually designed for young researchers. Anyway, I wasn't put off. I was already planning the next year. At the end, it took me 5 years to be awarded by the Enrico Anglesio Prize. It happened in Geneva in 2014. A great memory. I wouldn't say the prize changed my career. It is rather the path you take when you try to get it that is interesting. That's why I would recommend young researchers to give it a try, or many if necessary. And I am happy that today alumni are getting together to keep in touch and try to work on future ideas and projects all together. Enjoy the rest of the meeting and I hope to see you soon. Bye!
For many years, the International Association of Cancer Registries has been proud to support the Enrico Anglesio Prize. One of the most important things we can do as an association is support and encourage the next generation of cancer researchers, and that's exactly what the Enrico Anglesio Prize achieves. Young researchers are given the opportunity to prepare a publication based on their own work, to give a presentation, and to participate in the global cancer research community. I salute every one of our candidates this year. Your applications have been outstanding. And I wish you all the best of luck and my very best for what I know will be successful cancer research careers.
In 2020, we have been happy to adhere the proposal of Professor Zanetti of establishing a new prize in memory of my grandfather. Why did we take that decision? Because the prize is history, characters and target, appear in full coherence with the legacy of Elvotempia and the mission of our foundation, that is, among others, to contribute to support cancer research and researchers, to focus on the young and to invest on them, to stimulate fair competition, that is one of the conditions for advances in whichever field of science. The result of the two past editions, with two excellent winners of the Elvotempia Prize, confirm that our initiative was on the right direction. We are proud to be on board.